Sharp edges from the sides over onto the top of a cake make the cake look really professional, and in this tutorial I'll share all of my tips and tricks for achieving this. Start with a cold cake. Wrap the cake and leave it in the fridge overnight, or place it unwrapped in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Then assemble your cake. Attach the first layer to the cake board with some buttercream to act as glue so that it doesn't move around, and then spread on a layer of filling. I'm using my 4-minute buttercream with Nutella mixed in. Then place your next layer on top and make sure it's centered so that the cake is straight, not leaning. Repeat with more filling and cake, and you'll notice that this is much easier to do when your cake is cold rather than at room temperature when it's very crumbly. Next, it's time for a crumb coat. Ideally, put your cake into the fridge for about 20 minutes or the freezer for 10 minutes to set that buttercream glue down on the cake board to hold the cake securely in place while you frost it. Cold cake is also much firmer and less delicate and crumbly than room temperature cake, so it's easier to frost now that it's cold. I like to start with the top and then move down to the sides, and this doesn't need to be perfectly neat, but make sure there are no bulges of buttercream sticking out, sideways, or up above the top edge, because those will get hard in the next step and stick through your final layer of frosting. Put the crumb-coated cake back into the fridge for 20 minutes or the freezer for 10, and now it's time for the final coat, which is where your sharp edges really happen. Wipe the cake board clean with a towel or paper towel, because if there are any cold, hard smudges of frosting, your cake scraper will bump into them as you scrape around the cake and knock into your cake, creating dents in the frosting. Okay, as you spread buttercream onto the top of the cake, push outwards to nudge the buttercream over the edges of the cake, and this will prevent gaps around the top edge. The other really important part is to spread the buttercream around the sides of the cake so that it sticks up above the top edge, and this prevents a domed top of the cake. You should end up with a wall or lip of buttercream sticking up all around the cake, like this. Work your way all the way down to the bottom of the cake, down to the cake board, to completely cover the cake. And now it's time to smooth this. Pressing the base of your cake comb down on the cake board will line it up straight to make the sides of your cake straight. Scrape a few times, reaching all the way around your turntable to get a nice long spin. And then spread more buttercream over any parts that are shallower or thinner, these gaps or indents in the frosting, and then scrape again and again until the sides of the cake are smooth. Now for the top edge. Swipe sideways with your offset spatula or angled palette knife, or you can use your cake scraper instead. So you're pushing this wall of frosting towards the middle of the cake and then swiping up and away to lift the excess buttercream off the cake. Wipe your blade after each use so that it's clean for the next one, otherwise you'll drag this buttercream back onto the top edge and leave texture there. Notice that I'm pushing sideways, not down, because pushing down will create a bulge of frosting underneath. Don't push more than halfway across the cake before swiping up, or you can drag this buttercream over the edge on the other side. If in doubt, swipe a little bit higher than you think you need to, because you can always swipe again a bit lower, but if you start too low, you'll either expose the crumb coat or the cake underneath, or if you start low and try to correct it by moving upwards in a diagonal swipe, you'll create that dreaded domed top of the cake, instead of nice sharp 90-degree angles from the side of the cake over onto the top. Work your way around the whole cake and then get down to eye level and spin the cake to check that the top edge is level. And if it goes up anywhere, swipe over that part again until the whole top edge is flat and level. Then the final step, which is very important, is to put the cake into the fridge to chill and set this buttercream frosting so that it's firm and holds its shape. Because if you decorate the sides now, you'll damage that smoothness, and if you pipe onto the top, the weight of the buttercream piping will push down on the top of the cake and cause the edges to droop or bulge out. So make sure the frosting is cold and firm first. I hope this tutorial has been helpful. Subscribe to my channel for more cake decorating tips and tricks, join my channel for exclusive videos and other perks, and visit my cake school on BritishGirlBakes.com to learn hundreds of cake decorating techniques and designs with my online courses and memberships. See you there! Thanks for watching!